Adam, same thing with Phil. You've had many opportunities to explain your situation here and why, but for those who have missed it, just explain why you unfortunately have decided you're calling time as a professional racer.
Well, first off, I want to let you guys know I'm nervous. I'm like never nervous up here. I'm so nervous for some reason. There's a lot that went into it. Obviously, the nerve injury. I've been trying to figure out this lack of grip strength in my right arm now for 3 years, and had a bunch of different surgeries to try to fix it. And if anything, all the surgeries have made it worse. And it's one of those things. Nerves just need rest. Like that's the only thing that's gonna, maybe help it get better. And for me, to be able to go the speed like I would be happy with, I'm just not able to do that anymore, and I'm not really able to feel good about what I'm able to put on the track. Like I can go out there and do my best within reason, but it's just not where I want to be, and I don't want to. I don't want to half-ass it, really. And that's just it. I would rather, move on, and I think all of us dirt bike racers, it's a big jump to move on, especially, I'm 27 years old. I got a lot of life to live, but I know there's a lot more out there, and yeah, I'm just looking forward to seeing, how that all turns out, and just trying to, you kind of have that same passion I had for this and everything I did, all the work I did, and just put that into something else.
Questions from the press. Go ahead.
All right, Michael Antonovich, Swap Moto Live. Adam, we've talked about this a bunch of times, and I know all this week there's been so much. He's the one guy that never won. Oh my gosh, his career's incomplete. The championships that you did win or didn't win. I would have to say that through all of it, dude, I think that you've made a bigger impact by not doing that. And through the last few weeks, to see how many people have come up and seen you, to want to see you, how has that been to know the impact that you've left?
It's crazy, man. Like even just being here and just the fact that anybody cares that I'm done racing. I really am just the biggest fan of this sport. And I started just like everybody else, like just riding around in a field with training wheels, and just to have a small, like you said, I didn't win a whole lot. I didn't win as much as I think, when I had so much speed, and you think talent, that I had the expectations, when I was a kid, and people were trying to turn me into, oh, is he going to be the next James or next Ricky or whatever, right? And of course it didn't work out like that, but I think I think what resonates with people is that we can all, we all try to plan our lives to the best we can, and we have goals and we do our best to get those, but it doesn't always go according to plan. And for me, I've loved this enough. I've loved the sport enough to where I really feel that it's kept me going through that. When I was a kid and people were telling me, oh, you're going to do this, oh, you're going to do that, kind of in your head you internalize it, and you're like, if I don't do that, I'm like a failure. Like I'm not, like how am I going to be able to live with myself, And I guess what I found is just picking myself up and doing the best I can. Like you said, the support, since I've announced this has been way more than I would ever think, and I think that's what resonates with people is just life can kick the shit out of all of us sometimes, and I've kind of just, I guess I don't want to use too foul of language, but I've got my butt kicked like in a public setting for a long time, and but I've had fun. I've been able to, still be grateful, been able to kind of zoom out of those tough moments and recognize that I'm very lucky to have these opportunities. So, yeah.
Just as a follow-up on that, thanks for doing what you did, dude, because you've grown up so much in the spotlight and shown so many people how to go up and down with the emotions. Yeah, dude, we've gotten to see you grow up, so good job.
Thank you, man.
Kellen Brower with MotoOnline.com. First of all, congratulations on the career. Now that you're at this end point and you get to look back and reflect, what would you say you're most proud of from your career?
I've sit and thought. I figured somebody was going to ask me this. I've thought about it a little bit. Results-wise, I think that whole run I had in 2019, even though I had that slip up and I blew the Supercross title, being able to come back, and I'd never really been a proven outdoor guy. I had won one race before that, and I really believe if I had won the Supercross title, like I don't think there's any way I would have won that outdoor title. So it's kind of a metaphor for that year to me is kind of a metaphor for my whole career. You know, it's like you have this massive, for bad or worse, it's been a highlight reel. You know, it's either really low or really amazing, and it's to be able to pick myself up after the lowest, you know, probably the lowest I've ever felt in my life. To, you know, we get 1 weekend off and then right back to it, and you know, to win a title, and just for everybody. I mean, Mitch stuck by me. I wouldn't even be sitting here if it wasn't for Mitch and Kawasaki. They stuck by me in those. You know, I won some races, thankfully, right away in 2014, and I basically didn't race for 2 years. You know, and that could have gone either way. So just to see the look on everybody's faces, I've always been a guy that gets so much enjoyment from seeing other people stoked, like friends, teammates, you know, the crew that's with me during the week. Like I do it as much for them as I do myself, and I think that's what I'll remember the most. Like everybody just coming over and being stoked for me. And yeah, that another kind of, I guess, layer to that is I did, for the longest time, I basically just, like, why I crashed and why a lot of people crash is because we ride in a panic, basically. Like, I was riding, when I turned pro, I was riding like I had a gun to my head all the time, right? And that's just, you know, through childhood, whatever, that's just how I ended up developing, and it led to a lot of injuries. Like, we know about the growth spurt and shoulders, this, that, but a lot of it was me. Like, a lot of it was just not being able to be patient, and I feel like that 2018, kind of before I had the good 19 and 20, I guess, like the height of my career, I feel that I made a massive step mentally. Like I felt like everything that's happened since then, injury-wise, hasn't been because I'm not focused, in a panic or whatever. So I was really proud of myself that I was able to kind of bring myself to that place where I could be a consistent winner in a championship threat.
Matt Wellinson, MXP. Quick question, or actually a lot of good questions already, so some are already taken. But I remember over the years, you've always had a really good following, always really awesome to your fans, stuff like that. What would your advice be to other riders that may be struggling with kind of getting in that spotlight and interacting with them? Because I think you've been a leader in that for as long as I can remember you, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I don't know. I never want to be the guy that's trying to, you know, give advice. I'm figuring it out just like everybody else, right? But I think the biggest thing for me, I mean, a couple things. I think anybody that puts not just dirt bikes, not just sports, anybody that puts so much into your job, whatever it is, you know, you end up equating your value. And I know for sure I did this to an extreme extent, you know, as a human being. I mean, for the longest time, if I wasn't performing on a dirt bike, like I was not okay with myself. Like I could barely function. You know, it was not a sustainable, I guess, mindset for life. So kind of being able to do some inner work and, you know, find the value that I have as a human. And I think it's so cool that, you know, everybody has been so supportive of this kind of transition for me. And a lot of it's not about, you know, I'm not Eli Tomac, I'm not Jeremy McGrath or Ricky Carmichael or anything, but it's kind of just been I guess my attitude that people have resonated with. So I think it's, you know, finding value in yourself outside of results, and just not letting other people define you. You know, I think I could have easily, you know, when things weren't working out, like I could have easily gotten bitter. Everybody's calling me a bust. Everybody's saying this, that. Like I could have let other people define me, but I kind of chose to grow. I chose to find the positive, and I think I found something on the other side of that that's kind of, it's hard to explain, but there's a lot of peace there.
Jim Kimball with Motocross Action. Adam, you kind of touched on it a minute ago, but just maybe talk for a minute. You've been on one brand basically your entire, from hot young prospect amateur to now. Can you touch on that for a minute?
Yeah, that's one of my, going back to the other question about my kind of proudest achievement, I think that's one of them. You know, I've been with Kawasaki. I signed with them in, I think, October of 2003. You know, I've been with Kawasaki my entire career. I've, besides a PW50 or a Cobra 50, which obviously Cowie does not make those size motorcycles. I've been with Cowie since then, through the Team Green program, through Mitch's program, and finally to where I'm at now with Monster Energy Kawasaki. And it's like a family. It just really, so many things, so many things had to go right for that to happen. Of course, they've stuck with me through down times, and we've always had this mutual respect, and I have so much respect for all those guys over there. I mean, they've become family to me, and it's just, it's incredible. And it's all like loyalty means a lot to me. It's like a core value of mine that I really try to protect, and I think, just to have this whole career, and it's honestly, it's working out perfect. Like, as soon as I realized that, hey, I'm not gonna, like, this nerve thing isn't getting any better. Like, I don't deserve the factory seat on a Cowie 450. Like, to be out there getting 14th, 15th. Like, it's just a perfect time to kind of be done and move on and kind of end on a Kawasaki. Like, I never had any desire to go to another team, like a lesser team, and try to figure it out or anything. To me, it was just like, I don't want to ride a different bike. And obviously, the relationship will continue, with Kawasaki, and I'm incredibly fortunate to be with them as long as I have.
All right, round of applause for Adam Cianciarulo, races final race tomorrow.